A beautiful day to be alive. My sidekick here, Lee Syatt, the Jewish Cato. Say hello, Lee.
Hello. I hope we switched to a camera with Mr. Barone.
And we got old schoolers in the room tonight. We got Mr. Barone, my 7th grade teacher, and his trusted sidekick, Joe Barone, who grew up to become a pharmacist. Good man. Down in Hoboken Pharmacy. Check him out. Anyway, we're here. We're queer. What's happening, gentlemen?
Great. Great time.
Great to be here.
You were talking about the NBA game last night, the African ballet.
Poor guy. He's like, you can't put this out there. We can't have this. Made someone, and then you say,
lead off.
Listen,
third sentence.
Mr. Barone, you know how we do it, but it's funny that you came here today because I was doing something last week and I saw a public service announcement from Julius Erving, and he was headed to the Soul Power premiere in the city. They had a screening, and he talked about Soul Power, and I forgot to tell you, in Staten Island when you came to the show. So Soul Power is like an 8-part documentary on the ABA. Fucking tremendous.
I got drafted.
The Miami Floridians, they showed him. And they had, it started with Rick Barry, how they had to get a name, and then they had to take him to court, Golden State. And then he sat out the year, and then they went after Connie Hawkins. And then I'm only up to episode 2. They're just going into Julius Erving. But it's fucking you. It's great, man. But it was showing how it was like the NBA was boring, and they showed some white guy dribbling, and the announcer's like, look at how he dribbles meticulously. And all of a sudden they show like Allen Iverson fucking doing shakes and all this shit. Not that he was in the ABA, but they were just saying that the NBA was not exciting, and that's when the NBA took it. That's it.
What year did you get?
Know the Florida
Floridians,
team.
Miami Floridians. They showed every team according to the map in the beginning.
The star they drafted me.
Yeah.
And I went down there. I went down to their gym. The gym was like a bakery. The ABA was a great, it was starting to be good, but the NBA knew we got to get rid of this league. We went for my first practice that I went to. I said, where's my shirt? I got nothing to wear. I didn't bring anything. The guy says, it's in that box. I open up the box. It's the Flintstones shirts. I said, is this a comedy?
Yeah.
I wound up staying for 2 weeks. The guy sent me down for a contract. When he gave it to me, I said, I got a job in a grammar school. And I said, I'm making twice as much money as this. And your ABA got ate up.
The guy who was the star.
They had great players, and they all went into the NBA.
The star of that team was Mac Calvin.
Yeah, they talk about him getting drafted.
He was the
star. He
star.
got drafted for $15,000 and for a $3,000 bonus.
He was the star of that team.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
And he goes, they gave me the
Floridians.
opportunity to play and all this shit.
He knows everybody.
Yeah, the guy was.
Yeah.
You know who the president of that league was? George Mikan.
Really?
The Mikan drills we used to do and shit.
Yeah.
It was this was really interesting. So I thought you should watch it. Take your time. It's on Prime Video. It's free. I think for $2 you get no commercials.
But I want to know, more. So were you eligible in the NBA draft too? And then
No, just ABA.
And you made that choice?
I did the free throw thing in college.
You have the record for the most free throws?
Yeah.
And then,
and the highest percentage. No, is you play 1 year and you get the highest, they give you your percent. They were today, if you have 88, you win. I was 97.
How many free throws did you take?
246 out of 250.
And I had the record. I had the record, which is 65. It's 50 years now. Now, the thing that annoys me the most, after I missed, and it was one of those.
Montclair State.
I missed one game, and I made 52 more.
But then he's a senior.
Broke that. They're going to break this soon.
He's a senior now, and he has
Somebody
to
told me
graduate.
a girl had it, broke it, but.
Tell him what you told me. He said, if I ever knew about it, we didn't know about it till he was going after the 60 record. He said to me, if I would have known about this, I would have made 300. He said, nobody will break it
They
for
never
9
said it to
million.
me.
He didn't know.
I made a free throw. All of a sudden, everybody was waiting to see if I made my first two that night.
Why do you think so many NBA players have like such a problem? Like I watched the Knicks.
What about that center?
Like Robinson,
Beautiful.
he's great, but he doesn't. He at least last year he couldn't hit a free throw. And like Shaq is like famous for it. Like why do
That
these?
center you're talking about?
Yeah, like why or any
the
of them?
Knicks.
Why do all of
If he
them
was
suck?
standing on the beach, he would miss the ocean.
And like these are the best players in the world. Why can't they?
He's going to get, I'm making him get in touch with this guy. I could help him.
He wants me to see if I
It's
can.
embarrassing.
How do I get in touch with him?
Comes to
What am I
the
gonna
end
do?
of the game. Knicks are
Find
up
out where
two.
he lives?
They foul him. He's in the game. What has the coach got him in a game for? He misses free throws. They lose.
And you're 100% right with him. He don't take two the same way.
No. And he shoots.
There's no, you know about free throw shooting.
I can help him. We got to get in touch with him.
Let's get in touch with him right now.
I
crazy
only
how-
want a third of his salary.
It's crazy how you play basketball and you can do all these moves.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
He plays
Slam
great
dunk.
defense.
But then you fucking miss a free throw.
And he rifles them off the
And I
thing.
know that the art of free throwing is something completely different.
He
Like,
really is.
Mr. Barone will break it down for you at a different time because ain't none of his basketball players here.
I just went to a dinner and Chucky McBreen is speaking. So he says, hey, did you know my old coach is here? My grammar school coach. So he says, no, I was a smart guy in grammar school. He used to get even with me. He says, and one day I'm in the gym and I said, I can outshoot you from free throws. He says to me, because he was cocky.
Yeah, he was cocky younger.
You know, and I said, all right, how much? He says, $10. He gets $1 from each kid. They're not eating lunch today. Okay. So sure enough, he says, you got to move back. I said, no, I'll shoot lefty. And he tells the story. Chuck made 8 in a row, 8 out of 10. I made 10 out of 10 lefty because I'm all screwed up. I'm ambidextrous. I play baseball left-handed.
And he throws left hand.
And I throw left-handed, but I shoot a basketball right-handed.
He plays.
That's weird.
He played, whenever we used to go do something, I say, what are you doing this as? Like, first time I went and play golf, he golfs lefty. And, wait a minute, softball, he don't brag about himself as a softball
I
player.
love softball.
Championship game down in Hoboken, and that was a great league down there. They had all the greats. He hits 3 homers in the championship game before Jackson did it. He hit 3 homers championship game.
I
Of
love
all
softball
and
more than basketball.
he wasn't even considered a baseball, softball player. But I remember that game. I was there. You hit 3 homers. Leo's Rendezvous
Leo's. You ever go to Leo's down
was
there?
there.
Yeah, Leo's.
Was there.
That was our team.
That was their team.
Leo's Rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
You miss teaching, Mr. Barone?
Yes. I miss the kids and I miss the teachers. And
Who do you miss
really
more, the
enjoyed
teachers or
being
the kids?
You
miss the kids.
I taught 49 years, but I made a mistake. I wanted to stay for 50 years.
Yeah.
So I put in my papers. I go home and I'm figuring out, let me just check this.
I thought you was a math
It
teacher.
was 49 fucking, it's 49 years. So I call up the school. Can I, they wouldn't let me fucking change it. No, that's it. You're retired.
Out.
If
The papers
your
are in.
grandfather was there, I get it,
Who's North Bergen's biggest rival?
Hoboken.
Go to Hoboken for a year.
Always.
Do
When I first moved to North Bergen, I needed a fucking cop to follow me around. Because we always beat North Bergen in basketball.
right.
Always beat them.
And you were the killer.
And
Right.
when I started hanging out in places and in courts, I used to be scared. I used to say, this fucking gonna kick the shit out of me. Like cursing me and this and trying to hurt me. I said, hey, but guys, I live here now.
The
Okay.
first the first time
I'm a Bruin.
the first time I met Matty Sabello, he's always had a fedora on. He says, Barone. He says, your brother's John Barone? He says, you coming to North Bergen, right, next year? I said, yeah. He says, he's the one that made me get this. Takes his hat off, bald head. He says, I'm bald because of your brother.
We never lost to North
Six
Bergen.
times they played them, 6 times they
I
beat
played
them.
against them. I
6.
started as a sophomore 6 times.
Yeah.
We beat them 6 times.
You fouled the whole team out one time, remember?
Oh, that's a record too. I have
Yeah.
I have 23 for, you know, it's not in the picture I gave you. I got to give you a different one. They fouled me, St. Joseph's, cross street from Memorial. They fouled me I got to the line 23 times.
4.
And I made 22. That's a high school record. I never even knew about
You
it.
fouled that whole team out, too.
Huh?
You fouled that whole team out, too.
They only had 3 guys.
And nobody mentions
I
that.
fouled the whole team.
Was it?
out.
The last few minutes, there was 3 guys.
Just how cool was it to be good at sports in high school? Like, were you getting all the girls? Like, how were you? Was it cool being like good at sports in high school? Because I wasn't.
I had some Muffate's Italian girl whose mother was the best cook in Hoboken. I stayed with her for 2 years.
It's all about the food.
I love
It's
it.
all about the food.
I figured you'd miss teaching. I figured you really miss.
I miss it.
You-
When I take my grandson when he was going to Lincoln School, and I passed it every day, I wanted to walk in, and I did it a couple of times. I walked in. They said, "What are you doing here? Shut the." I'm here. I feel like walking around. All right. And these people that don't know who you are.
Yeah.
These new people working. Hey, you. Yeah. I
And
ran this
you-
place.
you-
Now I'm in charge of in school for my last 20 years. I get the worst kids every day. I had 160 kids. We couldn't fit in the big theater. They have a theater there with like 60 chairs. We had to go in the auditorium.
You should have seen that. A couple of times I went to visit, I had to give him something or whatever.
Hilarious.
He's up on the stage on the desk, and all these kids are like this. You know, he's watching them all, and he I don't know how he did it.
I did
Stop
it
talking.
how you
Stop
do it.
this. Don't do that.
I was a comedian. I was a motherfucker. I was like, and it works. And then the kids knew you knew I liked you when you were in my class.
What
Okay?
about when the parents came to parents'
If
night?
the kids don't like you, they won't listen to you.
Parents' night.
Now, and today, forget it.
What about when you told me parents' night? A couple of parents came to you and said you're his favorite teacher,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not an English teacher, the detention
Oh.
teacher. How the hell is that?
It's crazy because I go to all my daughter's events now, and she's in the 7th grade.
God bless.
So now when I look at the fucking teachers that they have down there,
They're bad.
it's not that they're bad. They're young. Like we had teachers that were dusty.
But you know,
Like you could blow the dust off
I
in the
have a
morning.
thing with that. I rather my kid be with a young teacher. You know why? Because they take it on the level as their first year. It's like your first year coaching. You do too much. All right? It's the people teaching 49 years that are fucking doing, take your book out. You know,
But there's no.
they're the best teachers the first 10 years.
They're
the best.
young, but there's no bond. Okay, when I went to school, I was there at 8:30, and you went home at 3. That's 6.5 hours without the lunch, right? But you're still walking around at lunch. In those days, that was more than your parents saw you. That's 30 hours a week. You get home at 3. Let's say you play a sport. You get home at 5. If both your parents are home, you're lucky. If one of them, you ate dinner, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you went to bed.
Yeah.
So you didn't see them. They became a part of your fabric. Now I'm watching my daughter. My daughter goes to school and comes home. I ask her about the teachers. Not a fucking word. Not a fucking word. Because these teachers aren't pushing through that barrier.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting through that barrier. They just scratched the surface. Your generation of teachers, whether it was whatever you want to say about Mr. Kingwell, that motherfucker made you do oral book reports. You make a kid do an oral book report today, he'll fucking die.
Right.
He'll die. Okay?
No.
And he would go to the middle of the book and ask you, what was the name of the janitor on the third floor when Penny went upstairs? And you're like, ah.
And you
You
talk about how good you guys, like his era, the students were like, they're your kids. They never had a gym, and they never had a lunchroom. You know where they ate lunch? In the hallway in front of my class, on a piece of wood coming out of the wall, sitting on empty boxes every day.
Then they
And
had a
being
gym in the
happy
hall.
and being happy about
Playing
it.
punch ball in the hallway.
Playing punch ball. We did, in the wintertime, you either shoveled snow at McKinley or you did fucking America's, the presidential program. We have to do 10 pull-ups and 10 push-ups, and there's always that chubby kid that can't
Imagine
do it.
not having a,
And
Hello.
you torture him and shitty.
Yeah. No, fuck that.
So, but now that's what I've been going to this school for 3 years. It's a great school, great curriculum, but that personal. And I tell, like, I look at my daughter's friends. They're a bunch of fucking retards. Like, I look at, they make plans on Friday, Saturday. The kid's mother isn't driving now. They're fucking retarded. I mean, the whole experience. And this is what I think. I think when we grew up, we were all going through the same thing at home. Everybody had something going on at home. Everybody.
Yeah.
Whose father was a bookie, whose father was this, whose
wonder who
father
that
shot a
was.
guy in the back 9 times in self-defense, whose mother did this. And even if it was known or it wasn't known, you were friends with kids through an emotional bond. Like, it was, my daughter don't have that.
You brought your problems to them.
You brought your problems to them.
You said, "What do you think? This is what I'm going through." Then, well, that happened to me. It's you bonded with them, and they got you through a lot of shit.
And I guess at the end, I mean, I can't imagine. I used to say to myself, what's this fucking guy do all summer, Mr. Barone? He swims in his yard, he plays basketball, whatever. He's missing us as much as we miss him. We've been in his hair for 10 fucking months.
He used to be good the first month. I remember him every year saying to me, I should retire. Then August 1st, he used to say to me, I got to get the fuck out of this house. Like, I don't care. I miss the kids.
Yeah,
I miss
no,
the thing. I got
and you
this.
can
I could
tell.
never retire.
You ever go to a restaurant and the chef comes out and he introduces himself, whatever. But then you go to a restaurant, the chef not only introduces himself, he takes you in the kitchen and he shows you how to, you say, how'd you get the garlic in there? I'm not a cook. But he shows you, like, I think that the emotional thing with kids has cut off. And these kids need you. That's why they're blind. I was in LA and I look at these young kids come up to do stand-up and I go, these kids are fucking retarded. They're fucking retarded. They're 40 years old.
You would eat them alive.
Oh, you usually do. That's what
You
we did.
would eat them
You
alive.
just eat them alive. But the point is that thing is missing now. And I see it with her. Like, she always asks me, on the way home, she goes, how was he your teacher in the 7th grade? I don't think these kids, when they grow up, they're going to talk to their friends in the 5th grade or the 8th grade. Not like we did. Now I can't make a move without thinking of one of my friends or whatever. I can't make a move.
Yeah.
So it's just really weird how teaching has changed. Mr. Barone was a fucking mind reader. Because I remember jerking off one time, not in school.
Not in school.
Because we had Mr. Barone during the big Benny Hill thing, the beginning of Benny Hill. So every day, me, Bishop, people were saying that there was a tit on Benny Hill. They would show titties and shit. And one night I banged one out to like a Benny Hill thing. Right? I'm in there. My mom's not home. I'm banging this motherfucker out. And that was the first time I came, right? And the next day, I'm in school acting all creepy and shit, not knowing what to do. And Mr. Barone's got this glue. And it's not Elmer's glue. It's the glue that looks like cum. And he's going like this, and he goes, "Hey, Coco, what's this remind you of?" I was like, "How'd you know?"
I think the Hoboken helped me there.
Yeah, the Hoboken
You
really
know,
did.
I went to school there. I could write a book. I could write a book.
Have you read this book that's out that I've been getting calls to read?
What's that?
Bob's Gold. Bob Menendez's Gold. Gold Bar Bob.
Oh, like the senator in the New
Did you
Jersey.
read it?
I didn't read it, but I'll tell you.
I got a message.
Union City.
I got a
And
message.
how does a guy like that who had 10 gold bars in his closet and all this other money that they found in his bank and everything, how does his son with the same fucking name run and win? Where are these people looking at? That's what gets me.
Beautiful.
I give somebody, if my kids were in school,
He
I
knocked
worry
Musto out of the
about that.
box. You know how hard that was?
Yeah, it's just that.
$10 million.
You remember Musto was the mayor
It
there.
was worth his gold
He
and
was
his
like a
money he had in the
legend.
bank.
He must have done some good work for them. I mean, did people like him
You
other
don't
than
get
the
gold bars by doing bad work.
right? That's it.
But it's just really crazy how that's the message I got. That's the exact message I got. Don't read that book.
Don't read it.
Don't read it because you're going to know a lot of the names.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see those names.
Yeah.
So I ordered it today on Amazon.
I'll get it.
I was going to go to, I went to the weed store yesterday, and it's right next to Barnes & Noble. And I got to the weed store, and I got excited. On the way home, I passed by. Fuck! So I had my wife just order it, and I'll get it this week. I'm going to take a look in there. They said it's fucking.
Should be interesting.
I know Wally Lindsay's in there.
Wally's
Wally's in
I got
there.
some stories.
Turk
about
Jordan's
him,
in there then
him
too.
and Turk.
Turk Jordan.
Oh, Turk Jordan's in there. I heard he's still around.
No.
Turk Jordan.
He collects, he takes change out of
Yeah, newspaper. machine.
newspapers. Cadillac is always fucking running
I
over
used
the
to have to
tires.
do, that was another one of my jobs.
They said to me, they said
He
with
got
me,
it for me.
Wally Lindsley is a new teacher in McKinley.
Right.
Now, they say, John, did you meet the new teacher yet? I said, no, I didn't meet him. Where is he? He's in that last class. So I walk in, I'm talking with the guy, introducing myself, who I am. He says, you're the best punch ball player I ever saw and stickball. I said, where did you see me do that? He says, I lived across the street from you in Hoboken. He's a Hoboken guy.
Yeah.
He is.
So he says to me, we got to talking, had a good school year with him. He says, what are you doing this summer? So I said, nothing. Why? I'm trying to get a job from North Bergen in the summer. Now that's a long time ago. So he says, you want to work for me? He was the mayor
A
then.
Weehawken, yeah.
He's
He
the
was
mayor of Weehawken.
Mayor.
Teaching.
Right.
So he says,
Mayor of Hoboken.
you want to
Mayor of
work for
Weehawken.
me? You want to work for me this summer? I said, sure. He says, I go to the town hall in Weehawken. I said, Wally, you said everything to me but one thing. What do I do? He says, you see that guy over there with the wig on? So I said, yeah, what
the
about him?
toupee.
He says, you have to be with him every day. Whatever he wants to do, he's head of recreation. He's the head of about 4 things. He says, just if you come to me and say you lost 10 votes, you're doing a great job. He loses 10 votes for me every day. You know what he used to do? We're driving a Weehawken
You
truck.
know where he used to hang out?
Yeah.
In that, when you're going up to the East Boulevard, there was that recreation building there on what was the name of that street? Patterson Plank.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
That was his headquarters.
Yeah.
That's where he had all the quarters.
Right looking down the Lincoln Tunnel. There was
Where
a
the
building
basketball
there.
court was,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
mentioned
Right by the
before.
field.
Yeah.
That was his office.
So he told
That was
us.
his hotel room. That was his stand.
Listen,
He did the craziest things I've ever heard.
ever. He told us in the 8th grade that if we had a winning record, he would get us laid. 8th grade. And we kept bugging him. Bro, we had a winning record. I got you. Bro, we had a winning, I got you. I got
He used
you.
to go like this. If somebody cut him off or somebody did
You don't want to
something,
drive with him.
he used to have combination locks underneath his seat.
This the truth.
And if you
I've
did
witnessed
something
this.
to him, if you like cut him off or you didn't let him go, he'd take a
Throw it at the car.
and dent the car or break a window and then argue with the guy. Like
He was out
he's
there.
right.
He was fucking out there, that dude.
What about when he comes to me, he says, you came to me or somebody said, you got to go empty all his machines. The newspaper machine.
Newspaper machines.
He
Yeah,
owned every one.
He
Remember
drive-
the ones you put a quarter in?
yeah, you own them.
He drives up, he goes, here's the car, take it. First of all, now the car's like this.
Right, it's crooked.
Because
It
all
would drag. All the quarters in the trunk. Fucking amazing.
You know,
I think it was like this, the
5
car.
gallon drums. He had 20 of them in the trunk. They were all full of quarters. I was driving like this. He says,
He had a
empty them
Lincoln
all.
He had a Lincoln Continental.
He brought a naked woman to 38th Street courts the day school ended, and he goes, guys, she's in the back seat. I'll never forget how he rubbed his hands.
Yeah.
It was like satanic. He was the original Epstein. This motherfucker was like, guys, she's in the back seat waiting for you. And we all ran over there. We were horny 8-year-old, 8th grade kids. We get back there. It's a woman with her top ripped, passed out. Fake tits. The tits were fucking solid. She's like with a drool, and we're like, nah, Dirk, this ain't gonna work. We gotta go home and do homework. He's like, it's the last day of school, for Christ's sake. We gotta prepare for the 8th freshman. We just tipped. There was a woman that was passed out. He took us to a Sixer game and didn't have tickets.
Oh, yeah,
What?
no,
I got
yeah.
a story
No,
like
he
that.
don't need no, yeah.
He says,
This guy, let me tell you.
he says to me one time, you don't have to work today, go home, but you got to be here tonight. I said, for what? He was, we're taking kids and their parents to the Yankee game. So I said, oh, that's nice. So I go home, I come back. He says, I'm in that first bus with the kids. You're in the second bus with the parents. I said, all right, no problem. Now we drive all the way to Yankee Stadium. We pull up to the stadium. He says to me, now I'm behind. He said, I see him go like this to the guy. He's got the tickets. Back now, the guy comes in I don't know what you're talking about. The guy said, you got the tickets. He didn't have any tickets.
Bus load.
He says
Two buses.
he says to the cop, they're going to arrest him now. And he says to the cop, listen, I got to make a deal with this guy. The cop lets him go. He talks to the guy. He says, you got all your equipment for the town, for the, what was the big thing where they have all the, where they keep their instruments, where they keep all their stuff for Radio City.
Oh, like a warehouse.
In a warehouse in Weehawken. He said, I want the number of the guy that owns that warehouse. We're fighting, waiting. He gets the guy on the phone and he says, I want all your stuff out of our warehouse. So he explains what's going on. The guy says, put the cop on the thing. He bought all our tickets. So I said, how could you put me in that position?
Yeah.
The guy back there's got the
Oh,
tickets.
no,
What you expect me to do?
What about when you guys were going down the shore? I don't know if you could tell this story. You're going down the shore, and he pulls over, and there was a woman there, and he says, get in the car. Remember that story? Every 15 minutes, he said to, he says to the woman, he says, get in the car. We're going down the shore. Every 15 minutes, you'll get a fresh load. There's 4 of us.
It's just funny that
This is Turk Jordan.
And then a cop
he
in the
embarrassed you
Hoboken
every
says to me,
5
you know
minutes.
that guy? You just waved to him. I said, yeah, Turk Jordan. What did he do this time? He said he drove backwards 6 blocks in Hoboken in reverse. You know the trouble that caused?
What is New Jersey? Like,
Streets are like this. cars like
The
this.
the New Jersey in the 80s sounds like a
Forget
fucking
it.
like
Forget
the Warriors movie. Like what is it about this place that like you feel like I've never met anyone who had any of these stories, and you guys could spend
I got
hours.
$1 million. If I ever
talking
get into
about
my
each year.
Hoboken story,
Forget
this
it.
is North Bergen. We do North Bergen. My Hoboken group thing is
What do they do?
that's a
Kill
whole
each other?
nother-
It was
It's
all
crazy, Lee, isn't it?
It was all fun.
That these
It was
guys
all
were my
good.
teachers. That they took us to basketball games with no tickets. And they- on Christmas Day, the Knicks Sixers, for 2 months, he promised us. He got tickets. The day of, he told him to meet us at a bar by the garden. Again, Joe Barone. We're in the fucking 8th grade. We went with our basketballs. That's how fags we were.
Oh yeah, right.
Me, Chucky, and Whitey were fucking fags.
Lady.
We get there, and he's like, I got no tickets. Take out your money. We're like, what are you talking about? We gave you money. Oh, no.
That was a
no.
while ago.
Tickets went down like $7, $8. I didn't give a fuck. He goes, get $5 and put it under these tickets, and we'll get you in. We did it all the time. But God, you work for a fucking city town.
No,
Like,
he,
what the fuck?
he was a lunatic.
He was a fucking, then we went in, and he couldn't find a seat.
We should
It's
go.
sold out.
You should
Sold out.
Go
Can't
to the-
find a seat. He's
go-
just sitting.
go to the track with him. We used to go to the track with him.
I can't even imagine. I can't even fucking
Go to
imagine.
Meadowlands. I'd say, I don't want to go. He'd say, you got to go. He should say, I'm going. You're coming.
And the best part is that you guys were like, the teachers were way better back then. Like, imagine if Mercy's teacher was doing this, you would lose your mind.
Our parents had no reason to ask.
Right.
Our parents would not ask, and we
They didn't suspect.
had
they
a
didn't-
generation that we would not come home and talk.
No.
We didn't come home and talk. Like,
Nope.
how was school today? Like fucking your mom with an apron on with fucking, cookies. Nobody did that. You walked in the house, you got a fucking bowl of manigot, and you ran the fuck out of the house.
That you were never home.
You were never home because God forbid you missed something.
Right.
God forbid you missed something. Because
Right.
now you get goofed on for not being there. What were you doing? You were too busy with your girlfriend. Oh, fucking fag. I'll never see that woman again. Yeah, because this is it. It was a different world. It was
Because there
different
was no
characters.
phones like we got now. You had
What's
to.
that?
You had to go.
You had to
You
go.
didn't know what was going on.
No. There was no Twitter. There was no IG.
Something happened.
Nobody was pulling up. You know what I'm saying? We just went.
Dude,
Yeah, nobody was pulling
your
up.
mom didn't know you got left back.
No.
Can you imagine? That's wild.
That's,
didn't say a-
that explains the whole thing.
I didn't say a word. In that fucking, not a word. I did not want her involved in my day-to-day activities whatsoever because she didn't know that world. So why would I include her in anything to do with that shit? I gave up after Catholic school. She made a fucking jerk out of me in Catholic school, cursing at people and shit and fucking, no, I wasn't going for that. But your parents trusted the system. There was no teachers dating a 16-year-old then. There was no teachers fucking students. If anything, I used to always grab Miss Brando's tits in the 7th grade. I love Patty Brando with all my heart. And it was just a different fucking world for kids. I look at my daughter now and I'm sick to my stomach. Not because she's not a good kid, because on Saturdays, if she doesn't have practice or we take it to the mall, yeah, she's got a couple little retarded girlfriends, but my daughter is North Bergen. So she's 13 going on like 16. Her little girls don't know what she's talking about.
She's got a little bit of advantage, huh?
Sure. You have to take them into deep waters from time to time. If not, they're going to be like the rest of these fucking kids. They got nothing going on.
Well, him with the detention in school. One time, I had to get something from my house in Home Depot. So I said, "Come with me. I don't know what I'm doing." He don't know what he's doing either. But we went to Home Depot to get the stuff to do whatever I had to do in my house. So we're going up the aisle. He goes, "Oh man, here's my principal coming down the aisle." What was his name? Al something?
Al Matish.
Right. He goes, "Cut over." I
George
said,
Jetson.
I said, how are we going to cut?
Remember that?
George Jetson.
That's what we call
Hey, he
him.
looked like that.
Next week, I'm going to see Wally Lindsay. He's coming to the show in Tampa at the Hard Rock Casino.
Wow. So
I'm going down there a day earlier so he could come to the club and eat with us.
so we
And
run.
that's going to fucking blow your mind.
So I says to him.
That's like having him in stereo.
So
He's
I
got
says,
a whole different farm, a whole book and stories.
He got us in trouble.
Yeah.
3, 4 teachers. He set up a basketball game between the teachers and the kids. Now we played a game. We're sweating our ass off. He says, "Listen, I got permission. We're going to the spa. You can take a shower, take your time. We'll get something to eat, and then we'll come back to school." I said, "Did you get fucking permission to do this?" He goes, "Yeah, I own that principal who was Maytish." So now we're missing out. We get back. It was 2:30 from 12 o'clock. We took all that time. We walk in there. They had the superintendent. They had Fish back there waiting for us. He had some pair of you know what to set that up. I figured they get mad, but they can't do nothing to me. Me and Marco are like this. He was.
I moved here in 1973. My mom had the bar in Union City way before, like in 58. And I went to Catholic school. I went to Sacred Heart in Kearney. They threw me out, and I had to go to McKinley. And as soon as I got to McKinley, there was a thing like that October. I don't know if you guys remember when the Mets played the faculty, the North Bergen High School
Oh,
faculty?
Yes.
John Matlack and a bunch of guys came over.
Yeah.
That was-
I played in that game.
That was my first experience ever in a North Bergen event. Okay? I told Lee about this. I go to this game, nobody's smoking pot then. Nobody's doing nothing. We're in the fucking 6th grade. But on the way out of the auditorium, some guy yelled, "That girl's a whore." There was just some girl standing there talking to another girl. And they go, that girl's a whore. She wants to get felt up. And I never saw 50 kids surround this woman. And everybody was just grabbing her tits, grabbing her ass. She's crying. And I'm standing there going, well, after I grabbed the pussy and tits too, because I went in there. But when I stepped away, I'm like, wow, these people are fucking animals. Like, I lived in New York City. My godmother was in Harlem on the weekends. This was unacceptable in so many ways. And then we walked home on the boulevard, like 80 fucking kids walked all the way down. People who had to stop at Franklin, St. Cecilia, fucking McKinley, and Kennedy School. And I was like, I'd never ever seen anything like that. There was hundreds of kids on that lawn fucking grabbing that poor girl. I think she fucking moved to Wayne the next day or some shit. But that's how I knew. Like, I was like, I'm in a different fucking world here. And then going to McKinley, that like just, because if you went to McKinley, that came with Carmine Balzano. So you knew what was going on there, and you're like, what? Why am I even trying? This guy could just smack the teacher, and I get a B. You know what I'm saying? Why would I even fucking try? It was so surreal. And I understand where you're coming from, Lee. You're like, what the fuck? Where were you guys raised? Bro, in Planet Rock. That's where we were raised. Go look at, because it's not when, listen, look at this. Before, when you came in, Joe Barone, you were talking about the 77 basketball team. The tallest guy was 6'6".
Yeah.
And they won the
Havlicek.
fucking states. And he was no fucking Moses Malone.
No.
But they squeezed it out and won the states. And then a year later, the Bruins won the states at the Meadowlands.
That was Havlicek.
Well, no, football.
Oh.
Football. And I'll never forget looking at the size of those kids and who they had to play in Snyder. I'll never forget, and they had to play against Walker Lee Ashley,
Oh.
who fucking won a Monday night football game for Minneapolis, recovered a fumble as a
Big
linebacker.
linebacker.
Big motherfucker. Big motherfucker. And North Bergen were these 5'9" Italian midgets. Capozzi.
Yeah.
That
Villo.
sentence has never been said.
Who was
before.
tougher than him?
That was tough. 5'8", 5'9" Italian midgets built out of fucking brick and money gut and meatballs and Italian bread and New Jersey pollution.
What a runner.
What a and that's when I knew there's something going on here that is not.
Did the
There's
best.
some, and then us fucking having summer jobs where you had a duck when the cops drove by, You know, that's unheard of. Who has to duck when cops go by?
What
Like
are you
the guy
talking
that
about?
dropped us off was like, listen, you're going to do this landscaping job on 46th Street Field. 46th Street Field had like, you know, where you put plants in, like those houses. We had to tear them apart. They were doing it with no permit. And they were paying us like $4.50 an hour. That was like gold in 1978. Like you had all those jobs. Like people just come to you. I knew who they were. I'm not going to say them on the fucking thing. But they come to you. You want a summer job? Just go down there a couple of days a week. What about the other days? Nah, do what you want. Like it was, you were living in the surreal. Then it snows. And then next thing you know, you're on a hill going this way behind the police station. You know, fucking, it was just a fairy tale. And then McKinley, forget it. Fucking forget it. From the 6th, I did the 6th grade, 2 stints in the 7th grade, and the 8th grade. I was there for 4 years. Every one of those fucking years was insane. From a teacher getting beat up to having a teacher that's a mayor that gets arrested for fucking murder. You know, fuck. I mean, you know, this happens to everybody.
He was. What was he doing with chickens?
Who?
Nothing good.
Oh,
What was he
had
doing
a
with
chicken
chickens?
factory.
He calls me one day.
he
You want to be a
cheated a
chicken
guy.
doctor?
You,
He
when
was
you
a
see him,
pharmacist.
Say Barone said he wants to go with you with the chicken factory.
Okay.
He was trying to get a chicken factory and steal it from this guy, old guy who owned it. He said, "We'll get it for nothing. You be my partner." So, all right. And then he was going to jail for that.
Yeah, he asked me one time. He says, "You know anything about chickens? You want
He
to be
said
a chicken
everything's
doctor?"
legal. FBI came to
I said,
McKinley.
I'm a pharmacist for people. I'm not a pharmacist for chickens.
Where's
He
the
said,
other
"You
guy that
learn."
he was with? They didn't squeal on me. The teachers, I said, watch them squeal on me. Who's the other teacher that this guy was with? And I said, yeah, I'm fucking dead. And they didn't know. Oh, we don't know. We don't deal with him. He's different than us.
Well,
Yeah,
he came close
chicken.
to making it big, but then he.
And I used to tell him, I want to do this, I want to do that. No, you want to own a chicken factory. We'll make billions.
What do we know about chickens?
Nothing. What do you need to know?
Nothing.
That was when Frank Perdue was like in his prime. He was in his prime.
Fucking crazy. We had those crazy ass teachers and shit. But nobody, you know, everybody was on the up and up, or at least.
It doesn't sound like. What do you mean the up and up?
Oh, we consider that.
You've
the up and
described
up.
like 84 crimes a person. I've never, dude. Can you
Nobody
imagine?
got hurt.
It sounds like they might have. Oh my
Hudson
god!
County. I want to write a book about Hudson County.
Yeah, everybody
I'll
does.
probably get shot.
Yeah, you'll get
The
shit.
stuff that I know.
You
but
can't.
It's just, I've had that idea now for about 5 years. I hope I hurt myself or I can't walk.
And then you make it.
And I'll write it. And it'll be all stuff like we talked about. The whole thing. And I'm not talking one town. I'm talking about Hoboken. I'm talking about Northburg.
West New York.
I'm also talking about Jersey City. And people don't know about Jersey City, but I do.
They're gonna have to put you
My
in like a
uncles
different
were
state.
cops there.
Yeah.
You have
West
to
New York,
move you to
Fino.
Pennsylvania.
What about West New York?
Well,
With Daddy had the store.
my father's an ex-con, That's why I got along with the people that knew me, really knew me, used to tell their kids, his father's mafia.
Your father had the fruit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. He's a good guy. I went up there a couple of times. Yeah.
He was bookmaking in the back,
He was,
right?
He was
he
bookmaking
was
in
in
the
the basement
Well, he used to pit-
with 3 phones.
Lady
Yeah.
used to come in the store. She'd say, "Joe, Jesus, the oranges are 4 for $1." He said, "Take 9 of them. What do I care?"
The other day.
He was worried about the booking. He wasn't worried about
Yeah,
oranges.
About fruit. He was booking, and then the guy that had the hot dog stand on 76th
Oh,
Street
yeah.
was booking. That was right there where we got by you. On the side, headed to County Boulevard. That van was there every day. He sold 2 hot dogs a day.
Yeah.
2.
You know
He was-
what? I said, give me 3. I have to take 3 home. Give me 2 to eat here and 3 in a bag. So he does it. He gives me the bag. I'm walking to my car, and I hear him screaming, "Whoa!" He had a customer. He wrote all the numbers that the guy was playing on my bag. He says, "Oh, if that one of them would have hit, thanks."
Last week, I had the pleasure of visiting Union City. Our friend Lucio,
Yeah.
friend of the show, is one of the commissioners. And he said one of the captains was a fan and he listened to the podcast. So I went down there. Now I drove around. It's 38th and Park. So I kept driving around. You know, I couldn't hit the right street, but as I'm driving, I'm getting fucking goosebumps. Because that was the neighborhood. Right around the corner from that fucking police station, when I was a kid, was the bank. It was right there. A little bar that was there, the Cuban bank. And if you went up 2 miles, that was Beltram's father. Felix, he's still there. They're on the, I don't think he's taking numbers, but that whole circuitry, they call that street, 38th Street is Cortina Way. That was the Cuban doctor. Lefty Cortina also went to North Bergen. Talk about, I'm gonna hit you with a name from the past that I bumped into his brother. That was also a good basketball player in his own right. Brian Smythe.
Oh my God.
Heard of him.
Brian, you fucking remember Brian.
Lefty.
You taught his kid, his brother, Matty.
Yeah.
Matty, the hippie.
Coached him, I think.
Yeah, they
Coached him on JV. I think.
Yeah.
You walk into a theater, that's who you're going to see, all North Bergen kids. They're all the stagehands. That generation, they all became stagehands. The McMahon brothers, the Smythes, a bunch of Irishmen.
He wasn't a bad player.
Yeah, no, he was a good player. I remember that's the guy who took me to Hudson County Park when Bernard King
Yes.
lived.
He used to live in a roundhouse.
Stonehenge. One of those.
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Galaxy, I think, yeah.
And he would go up there. We would hide in the bushes till about 1 in the morning, and Bernard King would come up. These are all fucking North Bergen that you sit there and go, what the fuck? So
You're right.
I finally parked. He goes, come down that 1 block and you could park there. And when I parked, I just remember pulling the car up and turning it off and just going, wow, where the fuck am I? And I looked and I go, holy shit. And he goes, everything okay? I go, yeah. I go, and he's the captain of police. I go, we used to buy guns and bazookas when I was a kid in that house. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, there was an Italian girl from North Bergen and her boyfriend was Colombian and he sold everything in that house. He sold everything, bazookas, guns, bullets, coke, heroin, gold chains. It was a fucking nightmare. And I don't even want to tell you who took me there. I will not tell you who dropped me off there one night. He's like, I know where I'm going to drop you off. I'll pick you up in an hour. And they dropped me off there. And I'm smoking pot with the chick. And she's got a bodysuit on. 1984. She had a leopard bodysuit, but the pussy was cut out. You could see a little pubic hairs coming out. And I'm smoking pot with her trying to focus. I'm looking at the pubes. And then she'd bring out Coke. And she'd go, hey, you can do this. I'm going to go to the bedroom and freshen up. She would come out 20 minutes later, still looking all fucked up. She'd come out, do Coke, give me more. I realized she had a guy back there she was fucking. She was a hooker, too. I mean, this was fucking.
Those bars in Union City, though, they played baseball on a Sunday, 10 grand a game.
What?
That's how Stevie Baum messed his
My
arm.
father's grocery store there was one in Broadway, and there was one on Park Avenue, 60th Street, in West New York. You know where you go down, and then the pool's there. But his store could have been a big hit.
Oh, get it.
As a television
Sitcom.
half hour. Like the Honeymooners, it was better than the Honeymooners. A lady would come in, and he didn't want to be bothered with ladies that want oranges. He's worrying about fucking the money he lost last night. Like she would say, Joe, you got any kumquats? He goes, take a fucking walk.
Throw her out of the store. Throw her out.
Throw her out. We had to do the dirty work there, me and him.
What about the time he was by the grapes? He says, Joe, you want some grapes? He says, I'll give you the loose ones on the bottom, that come off the. So I said, I don't want the loose ones. So he goes, open the door. He takes the loose cherry grapes and as he throws them out the door, lady walks in,
she gets
hit
hit in
with
the face.
grape. So now my father runs, he's hiding in the back of the store. The lady's going, Joe, I got stung by a bee. so my father comes out and goes, holy shit, yeah, you did. You know, those big grapes.
He had something funny to say to a customer would come in and say, Joe, can I have 6 slices of bologna? He said, oh, you're having company?
Give me 1 pepper and 1.
You're having a party?
He says, I'm not even going to walk to the register. Just take them. It's not even worth the walk to the register or weigh them.
Then there was a fat bookmaker, Ernie. You remember him?
What
Fat.
town? North Bergen?
North Bergen, all the way up, like towards.
I don't remember that.
Ernie was a fat guy. They used to call him Shaker. He weighed 500 pounds, and he made lemonade, but he made the lemons from scratch. He would cut the lemons, squeeze them, put sugar and a little club soda. That's what the difference was. It was like,
Nice.
so when you went up there, you were like, Ernie, let me get 6 lemonades. And you could see a look on his face. Fuck. And he'd take out his stubby little hands, and he looked like a bomb maker. He had fingers missing from cutting his fingers from making the lemons. And then when he shake them, like he wiggled, you know what I'm saying? And we go, Shaker. And he'd go, my name is Ernie. But, you know, I think that.
Is that hot dog place still there?
Who?
The hot
Ernie's
dog
not.
stand in Union City by the park. You know where I'm talking
No,
about?
I
Before
know.
you go down.
I don't think he's there. No, he's there.
The
He
one
was-
on 30th Street is still there. That motherfucker's still there. That's up the block from my mother's.
Right.
He went from Bergen Line to the other corner. Now he does pinches, the stick with the kebab on it. Fucking
You know when
delicious.
you go through the transfer station, you come out and there's a park there. What's the name of that park over there? He used to take me to that hot dog place all the time. In fact, he was
When
betting
you
with.
come up from Hoboken and then, what's that street? What's that?
He was always right by the entrance to that
Union
park.
City.
The one you're talking about is 30th Street there on top of the Lincoln Tunnel.
Okay.
Going into the Lincoln Tunnel.
Because that guy had good dogs too. Plus, I used to get them for nothing because he always owed daddy money.
You'd collect on your dad's at the hot dog place?
Give me the dogs. What the
I
heck?
wish you guys could spend a day there with us. It was
in
like,
that store.
I caught the tail end of that mentality. You know, like with you guys, that
DeFino, who was the mayor of West New York,
the big
was
guy.
my father's lawyer. So now, when he becomes mayor, he goes to my father's store and he says, Joe, I want half of what you're making, and you could still do this. If not, you got to stop because everybody knows we're friends. I'm your lawyer. So my father said, get the fuck out of here. And he made the kid that delivered for him piss on one of his pizzas. He used to take a whole pizza, fold it in half,
Delfino.
and eat
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no,
Hold
he
the
was
ends
500.
and eat the whole thing.
He was 5.
So my father said
Easy.
he had to go. He had to spend.
5.
How long was Daddy in jail?
Which time?
Huh?
Which time?
That's amazing.
Delfino went to somebody died one time in Hudson County, like a politician. And I remember we were the ushers at Veneris. And Delfino came, we had to carry his chair. He brought his own chair.
Oh, yeah.
That motherfucker brought his own chair, like a throne and shit.
I have no problem with him eating an entire pizza, but the fact that he had to fold it because he didn't want to waste time eating
And-
two
and-
slices at once.
And you didn't cut it.
What?
You know, when you go like this.
No, I know how you cut things.
You leave it alone so we could fold it.
Oh my God. He would just eat the pizza
Slices
The
whole.
whole thing, and then
The
eat it,
slices will get
and then you
loose.
just have the ends in his hand.
Slices will get loose if
He
you
used
cut
to
it.
eat it all the way up to the
And
ends.
did he eat the whole pizza that got peed on?
Who?
Did he eat the pizza you guys peed on?
Every crumb
Every
was
single
gone.
bite of it.
Just the end was left.
I told you he was 5. He ate that like a slice.
You still know what pee
Joe
tastes
Marco
like.
hit him with a camera in the fucking head.
Might have been one of them.
He
clear
was in
ones.
North
Something they
Bergen
get that
taking
clear
pictures with
I don't
another
get clear
guy
ones.
when Marcos were in. And Joe Marco, we're taking stuff out of mailboxes. And Joe Marco says, "Who's that over there?" I said, "That's Stefano." He crosses the street. He takes the camera that he had and he cracks it over his head. And you see him on the floor bleeding. He said, "I'll get you. This will be in every newspaper." I don't know how he got out of that. And then I bought every paper there was. The next day it wasn't in. They must have had something on
He
him.
was a crook.
That was a different world, man. They
There's
didn't
no
put anything
proof.
in the
There's no
paper.
video anywhere.
They didn't put anything in the paper. So, it's fucking craziness. What a different world we came from. What a different fucking world.
Getting
And it's
back
funny,
to when
that's
he,
why-
when he was the disciplinarian there, I always run into guys that know him. And one day, I'm just thought of this. I run into this guy. He says, "Your brother, he was the best." I says, "Why?" He said, "One day I was talking to a guy next to me, and he says, 'You guys like each other so much, hold hands.'" He made them hold hands for the whole 8 hours of the. You like each other so much, hold hands.
You do that today, you get sued.
Yeah.
You used to say some wild shit. to
I
kids.
could have got
Wild.
quiet about 4 times.
Wild.
But it
Wild.
wasn't a bad thing, but you can't do that.
But what's the difference of the kid then that ran home and told his mother and took defense? Well, again, what was the difference between us being 13 or 12 and these kids today that they run right home? God forbid, listen, I shouldn't have said this before, but it's true. I mean, I never heard of nothing crazy in North Bergen. But I'm sure in all the 8 schools, there was a teacher sucking a tremendous dick. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Horace Mann, Robert Fulton, there had to be a teacher sucking dick. This is North Bergen. You never heard about it. Why? Because no kid went home and told his father that some teacher sucked my dick. Let's call 911. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's a jokey thing, but think about what I'm coming with here. We didn't go home. That's what I'm saying to you, Lee. We didn't go home and tell everything to our parents.
Those kids didn't go home and say we had to hold hands for 8 hours.
Yeah. They didn't go home and tell their dad we had to hold hands for 8 hours.
But not because you lived in that section. To me, the kids that came from the school, around the school, they were the best kids. They were the best kids in North Bergen. Because when I got to the high school, then I saw the different groups, different
Right.
schools. Yours was the best.
The best.
The kids were the best.
Unreal.
You know what happened one time? I never got in trouble with the principal or any time. I never had to go into the office and you knew the superintendent was going to come to talk to me. So they said, "John, Fishback's coming over. He has to talk to you. He's pissed off." So I said, "For what?" I didn't know what she was talking about. We go in Tenero's office and there's a girl sitting there. And I don't even remember her being in my class, but she's told her father that I pulled her hair. Okay? So now, Fishback says to him, "Where's your father?" to the girl. She went to the bathroom. Now the kid comes in, and when she told everybody what I did, now it was my turn. I said, "My turn, nothing." I said, "I didn't do anything to this girl. I don't know what she's talking about." Now her father walks in. Don't you know, I don't know his name, but he's a McKinley kid that I had. He goes, "Wait a minute." He didn't even, he said, "Wait a minute, Mr. Barone?" I said, "Yeah." He says "She's a fucking liar." She's a fucking liar because I know this guy. He was my teacher and he wouldn't lie. I was like, I couldn't sleep that night. That's how happy I was.
That was a goon.
And
I never heard that.
And I don't even remember this kid. He grew up.
He was the guy who made whole hands for 8 hours. No.
Remember when you first got to McKinley, we had a problem in North Bergen. Joe, you're going to remember this. Fontana
Oh.
We had two of them. One was a
The baseball
guy,
coach.
and one was a track guy.
Yeah, Frontiner, I didn't like.
He had him in McKinley. He was a track coach
Really?
at McKinley.
Now, which one? The
We're
baseball?
talking about the baseball coach.
Yeah, I know.
When I was in the 7th grade, do you remember they were?
Wasn't the greatest guy.
No, he was a piece of shit. And one of the reasons why he got a beating was because they were on a bus. He told 2 Spanish kids not to speak Spanish.
Oh.
And he said, if you speak Spanish again, I'm throwing you off a bus like in fucking Newark. And he threw the 2 kids off the bus in Newark.
Oh.
That didn't work out for him at all. Like that just
No.
did not work out for him.
No.
I think one of the parents
think
called the
of that
school
guy.
and the other guy just went up there and threw a beating on him. They would just let you go when a parent threw a beating on you, I think. Because I wouldn't see those guys anymore.
You know, those field trips.
I never forget that day. I almost
Field
cried
trips.
when I
Yeah.
said, I'm going to get fired for something I didn't do. I don't even know what this girl's talking about. And he walks in and says that. I still remember it like it was yesterday.
The field trips were great because they used to.
So
Everybody
it
used
goes
to
to
go.
show you how many people are innocent and they get buried like that.
What about the field trip? We used to go, and then everybody had to be back on a bus by a certain time. So we started out with 35 kids on a bus. So the bus driver goes, "How many you got?" She says, 18. That's how many kids were missing. We went to the zoo.
That happened with his group.
We went to the
Bear
zoo.
Mountains.
Yeah,
Did you
we went
go?
to Bad Mountain.
We went to Bear Mountains, and there's 2 buses.
You're off
I
by
got
half.
one bus.
It's crazy.
The teacher's got the other bus. I said, "You ready? I'm all here." So she says, "I didn't even count mine." Now, how many people are on a bus? 44 or something? I said, she comes out and she goes, "John, 30 are missing."
Yeah, it's like,
They're up. Now we look at the mountain. You can see this one big mountain, and they're fucking waving. They're climbing on the trees. It was unbelievable.
yeah, well,
That
that was
school.
it. That was no more
McKinley
field
School
trips that
was-
year.
I'll tell you.
You were talking about Mr.
I
Mustache
dreamed-
before.
Who?
Mr. Maytash, Mustache. And we had the George
Jetsons.
George
whatever.
Jetson.
George Jetson hairdo
George Jetson.
in the 8th grade.
I gave him that name. The whole school.
he
called him
gave
that.
him George Jetson.
Remember, he said, "I wish I could know who gave me this name." You said to me one time.
He told me. He lived on the next block from me.
He was a sweetheart of a
Said-
guy.
So sure enough, I slip one day and I say Jetson. "Hey, the Jetson's here." He heard me. He heard me. He says, "You just said that to annoy me? They're driving me crazy in school with that. If I ever found out who gave it to me,
He,
I gave it to
If
him."
they made a movie, he's definitely would have been
George Jetson.
cast.
Small, short.
You know, he died.
Oh.
Spaceship.
He's on the next block, and I had to do something for him. And being he's my principal, I did it. Something would. Oh, he's going down the shore. Can I bring his garbage cans out? So I did it. That night, it fucking snows like crazy, like the one we just had. He never comes home. He never comes back. Those 2 garbage cans are standing in front of his house. I said, "I wonder what happened." I get dressed. I go to school. "Did you hear what happened?" "No, what happened?" "Maytash is dead." I said, "How did it happen?" He was shoveling, and they found him frozen holding the shovel.
Holy Christmas.
He took a heart attack while he was shoveling,
Yeah.
and it happened
It's the
where
leading cause.
it snowed so much like we had.
Shoveling.
His body, they had a picture of it.
Cancer's one, shoveling is
Shouldn't
2.
laugh. But he was a
I don't shovel. Thank God.
He was on duty when Carmine beat up Mr. Zatora. I'll never forget the look on his face. But the best was he warned us, do not, he goes, "There's a rumor going around that you guys are going to field day in the 8th grade." He goes, "Coco, please don't go. Just don't go up there, mind your business." Fuck you. We're going to field day. We're playing like big time basketball on those courts. And he fucking came from the hill. He just stood there watching us. And I remember I saw him and I'm like, "I'm in trouble anyway. Let's finish the game." And we just, and he's like, "When are you going to step over here? Come on, we're going back." He drove us back to McKinley. I think it was me, Louis Hernandez. He drove a couple, and we got suspended for maybe an hour.
And then the thing about Matesh
Field day.
that's unbelievable is when a month or a year passed and somebody says to me, "Did you hear about Matesh?" I said, "No, what happened?" "I know he died, he froze, all that shit." He said, "No. He worked for the CIA and he was a priest for 4 years before he went to school and
That
became
makes
a
sense.
teacher."
An interesting guy. I mean, he
That
was.
sort of makes sense.
I'm playing table tennis. The teacher had a table tennis in the gym. You did play it at lunchtime. So Matesh, I'm playing him. And Kingwell walks in. He says, "You're getting tired, right?" I go, "No, I'm enjoying this." He goes, "Give it to me. I want to get him." Because he used to bust Kingwell's balls. So now I said, "What do you mean you want to get him?" He says, "I'm going to fucking put holes in his head when I play. I'm good at this." So sure enough, God fucking punished him because the opposite happens. This fucking guy, they're hitting him in the face, Kingwell. One almost went in his mouth. And after I get done, I said, "Mr. Matesh, can I talk to you for a minute?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'm shocked." Because Kingwell was a decent athlete when he was in school. I said, "How did you beat him like that?" "That's all you do when you're a priest. On your spare time, you play table tennis." He got great at it. He was slamming it at him.
Fuck, man. I didn't know.
Poor Mr. Matesh.
Poor Mr. Maytash.
Frozen in
Died
snow?
out there
I didn't
frozen
know
to death
that.
with a McKinley school shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Poor bastard. What do you got going on now, Mr. Barone?
What's that?
What do you guys, are you still involved with different basketball things?
I'm with the kids, and my granddaughter's on the girls' team,
Kicking ass, right?
and they lost today. They got knocked out of the playoffs. But I wish I could say something, but I can't.
Okay. That's your focus, though, now, the rank.
Mr. Barone, we are still being recorded.
Worst coach ever.
They
Okay.
didn't pick that up, did they?
Joe, what are you up to these days?
The
The pharmacy's done.
pharmacy's done. I went from there to corporate Merck Medco, and should have did that from the start. 401k, call out whenever you want. I
That's
was working
another-
7 days a week, like
That's another sitcom when he had this.
The pharmacy.
When he
Oh,
had the
forget that.
pharmacy.
In Hoboken,
That's a
yeah.
sitcom.
that's 3 more episodes of this.
He's
That's-
got
that's-
boys that work for him, and I said, I'm helping out in the store. I took care of the register. So I said, "Joe, where are these fucking guys? It's 45 minutes. They only had to go 2 blocks." The kid comes back, he got a haircut.
Yeah, it took
Another kid comes in
for years though. I worked in Charles Pharmacy.
in North Berkeley.
Down from McKinley, right across from Collins Diner. There was a pharmacy there, Charles Pharmacy. For years, I worked in there. It's another sitcom.
After Hoboken?
After Hobo.
After Hoboken.
After.
You talk to anybody from your nobody?
You know that
As I
famous
was talking to you, I thought about something.
Frank
the
a little
Italian-
bit.
Who?
Frank a little bit.
Frank Ashley.
Joan.
Who's the Italian singer?
Jimmy
Sinatra.
Roselli.
You ever hear of Jimmy
From
Roselli?
Hoboken.
I'm working the register in his store, and he's doing what he's got to do. And Jimmy Roselli, I know him because he's Italian. Has a thing with Frank Sinatra,
Right, that's why he couldn't
Frank
Sinatra
Sinatra cut him
cut
blackballed
him off.
right?
He
Because
had
he
to sell
wouldn't
fucking albums out
sing
of his
for his
trunk.
mother.
His mother.
And they used to tell him,
Yeah.
Frank, put the fucking, close the trunk, you're embarrassing us. He would tell-
Roselli sold him out of the
But now,
trunk.
if you're from Hoboken, you know who Jimmy
Yeah, he
Roselli is.
They made a movie
Sinatra's
about it.
mother
He
loved the way he sang the dialect, Neapolitan dialect. And Sinatra asked him to sing at her birthday, and he said no.
But now Joe
That was it.
is working.
Lucky
I
he's still
said,
was still
"Holy
alive.
shit," to myself. I say, Jimmy Roselli looks like Jimmy Roselli. So he gives Joey the the pill thing.
Hurry up. One of them
He goes,
things he says.
hurry up. I'll be waiting outside. So I'm waiting. And I figure he's just in a bad mood. Jimmy Roselli walks in. He says, "You got my?" He goes, "No, I didn't do it yet." He don't know who Jimmy Roselli
I don't know who this guy is.
So now
He was getting
says,
fresh.
"Hey kid," and he was a mean fuck. He says, "Hey kid, don't you know who I am?" So I'm going like this to Joey. He don't know what he ain't picking it up. So sure enough, I didn't want to lose him as a customer. So he says, "Hey kid, I'm the famous Jimmy Roselli.
The singer.
You don't know that?" So Joey looks at him. He says, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you. You sing me a song, and I'll do your prescription." He throws things.
Just see how mad this guy
He
got.
made $400 worth of breaking things.
I
And
thought
then
he was going to
walked
have.
out.
I thought he was going to have a stroke.
I said, "Joey, that's fucking
His wig
Jimmy."
was like crooked. It was, you should have seen the condition this guy went in.
He took a fit
Yeah.
because he didn't know him.
I said, tell you what.
Tell you what, you sing a song, and I'll do your prescription.
I didn't sing for Sinatra. He went through a whole thing. I said, holy Christmas, what happened here? How did this go sideways? His fault.
I when he left, I said, "Fucking Joey, that's Jimmy Roselli. How do you not know?" Because I don't know who I don't know shit about this
Jimmy
guy.
Toupee, I said.
They were gonna make a movie. Travolta. Was
Yeah,
gonna play him.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
fucking, I was auditioning, me and Billy Gardell. And
Oh.
at the end, he pulled it out for a fucking cosmetology movie. What's those movies?
You know,
Scientology.
You know who loved him?
Oh.
You know who
Same
loved him
thing.
more than anybody? Sal,
Close.
who died this year.
Sal Roselli.
No, Sal from North Bergen.
He loved who?
He lived in. He loved Jimmy Roselli more. He saw him every other month, wherever he's singing.
Yeah, he was in
Sal
Atlantic
was-
City a lot. We became big friends after that.
We're gonna wrap it up here, Mr.
You know
Barone.
why?
Okay.
Right. And have card games up there. I heard he had card games up in that house, Roselli. Big time card games up there.
Joe, what's up? We're gonna wrap this up. Hey, you know who I saw in Colorado? Oh, Chris Morano.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, my son went to UMass. Chris is a teacher at UMass.
Wow.
Teaches that, like, plants, natural healing,
He was always a hippie.
eat a clove of garlic.
Yeah, he was weird.
Instead of taking your blood pressure pill, we were opposites. I was medication. He was, eat this or that.
Plants.
Yeah.
I remember he went to meet George Burkle. So I was at George and we went.
I haven't
Like
seen
Chris
George or
and
heard from
Joe-
him in
Joe
many
started-
years.
He started with Danny in the back court. And he was better than him.
That's all right.
It happens,
He
brother.
was better than him.
Well, I'm happy. I
That's
like
my
your fucking
daughter's
sneakers,
coach.
Mr. Barone.
Oh, I can't say no.
Those are good sneakers.
All right.
Thank you for coming on, Mr. Barone. I appreciate it.
I enjoy it
The
every
people are
time.
gonna love it. Joe
I
Barone.
enjoy it.
Thank you
Good
so
to
much.
see you after
Thanks.
40 fucking years.
Thanks for. I saw you at one of your shows. Remember?
That's right. Yeah.
I came to I didn't make the last one. I was. I got 5 grandchildren too now.
How many kids?
2.
That's all you need. Lee, how you doing, cocksucker?
I'm doing great, buddy. I'm going to be at the Saratoga Comedy Works this weekend, the 20th, 21st.
Who asked you? Nobody even fucking asked you. No, I'm happy at the Saturday. I got nothing this week. I got nothing till the 5th in Tampa and the 16th and 14th in
Foxwoods.
Foxwoods Casino.
Nice.
And that's it. That's all we got this week. Yeah, we got a birthday. I want to wish Dario happy birthday
Whose
and Ralphie
birthday?
May a happy death and it's his birthday. Fuck yeah. 60,
You didn't tell me
63.
that. I would've-
God bless you.
Who gives a fuck? We're just lucky. We're from North Bergen, baby. We got that pollution in our lungs. I'll see you savages next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.